Good morning, students. Hope you all are doing fine. So in the previous lecture, we solved a few questions on fillers based on the patterns asked in various competitive examinations. So in today's lecture, we will discuss a few more questions. So without any further ado, let's begin. Here's the next type of question asked. So in it, the questions are mentioned below, and you will find two statements with one blank each that must be filled in with the same word. After the statements are 5 words in 5 options. You need to choose the most appropriate word which will fill in both the blanks so as to make both the statements grammatically and meaningfully correct. So is it clear? So here's the first question based on this type. Start solving. So, is it done? Let's discuss. Let me first read out the statements. Since Henry didn't study or attend the class on a regular basis, it was simply a dash that he passed the final examination. Now, the next statement, winning the lottery is always a dash due to buying the lucky ticket completely by chance. So, the correct answer is option A, that is fluke. It fits perfectly in both the blanks. It means to achieve something by luck rather than skill. Let me write down the meaning. To achieve something by luck rather than skills. So, is it clear? But let us also discuss the meanings of other words given in the options. So, first one is prolific, meaning plentiful, present in large quantity or producing a great number or amount of something. Let me write down the meaning. Plentiful, comma, present in large quantity or producing a great number or amount of something. Now, next is condemn, meaning to express complete disapproval of or to criticize something or someone strongly. Fine. Then moving on, next is pristine, meaning original and pure in its original condition, not spoiled or worn from use. So, clearly these words are inapt for the given blank. Hence, clearly option A is our answer. Now, moving on to our next question, solve it. Is it done? Let's check. Let me first read out the sentence. In the school, the principal appeared dangerous, but in reality, she was really dash. Next statement, although Sammy meant his joke to be dash, the people around him took it to heart. So now, let us first look at the meanings of the options given. So, first one is nauseous, meaning sick, causing nausea. That is making you feel as if you want to vomit. Clear? So, next is innocuous, meaning harmless, that is not at all harmful or offensive. Fine. Now, moving on, next is obnoxious, meaning extremely unpleasant or annoying or offensive, or you can even say rude. Clear? Now, moving further, next is abstemious, meaning indulging very moderately in something, especially food and drink marked by restraint. Basically, avoid doing too much of something enjoyable such as eating or drinking alcohol. So, clearly only innocuous fits perfectly, remaining words are inapt. For the given blank, they are irrelevant with respect to the tone and meaning of the paragraph. Hence, option B, that is innocuous, is the right answer. Now, moving on to our next type of question. So, let me first read out the directions given for the next 7 questions. Each of the following questions has a sentence with 2 blanks. Given below each question are 5 pairs of words. Choose the pair that best completes the sentence. So, is it clear? So, here's the first question. Try solving it on your own. So, is it done? Let's discuss. Let me first read out the sentence. Dash of illiteracy from a nation that is said to become the most populated in the world is by no dash easy. So, the correct answer is option D, that is eradication and means. They fit perfectly with respect to the context and meaning of the sentence. They also fit in with the sentence structure and both are grammatically correct also. Fine. So, is it clear? So, the correct sentence will be eradication of illiteracy from a nation that is said to become the most populated in the world is by no means easy. Fine. So, is it clear? Now, moving on, here's the next question. Solve it. So, is it done? Let's check. Let me first read out the sentence. As navigators, calendar markers and other dash of the night sky accumulated evidence to the contrary, ancient astronomers were forced to dash that certain bodies might move in circles about points, which in turn moved in circles about the earth. So basically, calendar makers and someone watching night sky are often referred to as observers and not scrutinizers. Also, the second part of the sentence describes how the ancient astronomers were forced to change their opinion in the face of contradictory evidence. So, when someone is compelled to accept defeat or to admit that something is true, basically yielding something reluctantly, then concede is the best word that can be used. It matches perfectly with the context of the statement. Hence, option D is the right answer choice. That is observers and concede. Fine. So, is it clear? Now, moving on, solve this. So, is it done? Let's discuss. The numbers dashed by the legitimate online music service providers indicate that a growing number of users are dashed to buy music. So, the correct answer is option D, that is touted and willing. So, basically online music providers try to sell the products by claiming that a large number of customers are buying their products. So, touted and morphed are suitable answers, but in the second option, morphed is followed by ignoring, which is an incorrect option, as it is irrelevant with respect to the tone of the sentence. Thus, the most appropriate word to be used in the blanks are touted and willing, which will make the sentence contextually correct and meaningful. Touted means to advertise or to sell or talk about or praise something in order to convince people that it is good. Basically, encouraging people to like or buy something. Thus, touted is the most appropriate word with respect to the context. Also, the second half of the sentence refers to the increasing number of users ready to buy music. Hence, willing is the most befitting word for the second blank. So, I hope it is clear. Fine. So, the correct sentence should be: the numbers touted by the legitimate online music service providers indicate that a growing number of users are willing to buy music. Fine. Now, moving on, here's the next question. Solve it. Is it done? Let's tally. Women should be paid the same as men when they do the same job, comma, for surely what is sauce for the dash is sauce for the dash. So, here basically a phrase is used. The phrase is: what is sauce for the goose is sauce for the gander. Let me write it down. What is sauce for the goose is sauce for the gander. Meaning that what is acceptable for one person in a particular situation should be acceptable for another person in a similar situation. Let me write down the meaning. What is acceptable for one person in a particular situation should be acceptable for another person in a similar situation. Fine. So, the correct answer is option A. So, the correct sentence should be: women should be paid the same as men when they do the same job. For surely what is sauce for the goose is sauce for the gander. Fine. Now, moving on, solve the next question. So, is it done? Let's discuss. Growth under this government has been dash high and remarkably dash even during the worst global economic crisis. So basically, the first half of the sentence describes a high growth and hence can only be filled by relatively or sustainedly, but relatively is irrelevant because there is no comparison made in the sentence. Thus, sustainedly meaning continuing for a long time, comma, lasting uniformly is the best suited word. Hence, clearly, option D is the right answer choice. So, our sentence after filling in the blanks would be: growth under this government has been sustainedly high and remarkably resilient even during the worst global economic crisis. So, the meaning of resilient is when something is strong and able to recover from damage quickly. Basically, something that is not easily damaged. Fine. So, let me write down the meaning. When something is strong and able to recover from damage, or you can say shock, quickly. Not easily damaged. Fine. So, is it clear? Now, moving on, here's the next question. Solve it. Is it done? Let's check. Football evokes a dash response in India compared to cricket that almost dash the nation. So, we know that in India, cricket is much more popular than football. So, how football affects or provokes a reaction amongst Indians should be nothing or very less when compared with cricket's popularity. Hence, option B is the right answer choice because lukewarm means mild or the state of showing less enthusiasm or interest, and electrifies is what excites intensely. These words fit perfectly in the given context. So, a sentence after filling in the blanks would be: football evokes a lukewarm response in India compared to cricket that almost electrifies the nation. Fine. So, that's it for today. We will continue further in the next lecture. Thank you.